All right, hey, how's it, everybody? It is right around 5 p.m. West Coast time. I'm going to call it 2 p.m. Hawaii time, 8 p.m. on that there East Coast, and 7 p.m. for our Central Time folk. I am Mad Statter today, and this is Chatter with Statter. I'm sorry, I cannot help but laugh. I don't think anybody, I hope only Shock was in the house when I did it, but when I started this stream, normally I start the stream with this scene up. You've all seen that scene. Normally I start the stream with that scene up. No, I didn't today. For some reason I was just looking at my face and I decided to start the stream without changing it. And so then I'm thinking the whole time that I've got the starting soon screen up, and I'm just and I'm all. So then I take a sip of my water, and Shock is all sippy, sippy, sip, and I'm like, oh no! Seriously, at this point I don't even realize, even though I'm watching myself do it on the screen, I look down to see if she heard on the microphone me sipping, and then I look up and I see my face, and I realize, no, she didn't hear nothing, she just saw it. So then I cracked myself up, and put the right screen on, and, well, now you're here. Alright, so, we know that Shock is in the house. Yeah. And we know that Terry in Scotland came raiding in with a party of 6. Thank you so much, Terry in Scotland. Katie Zora came on in with that there raid, and I'm guessing that Terry in Scotland came on with that raid as well. Penel subscribed to Tier 1 for 44 months. Thank you so much, Penel, coming in with that raid. And she's, of course, saying hello to all the kitties. Only one kitty in the house right now. It's Ashes, and he was looking at me like, is time for food? And I said, no, you're an hour early, so he's going to have to wait now. And let's see here, we've got Midnight Frequency Radio, who probably came in on the Terry raid, but on the other hand, might have witnessed the sippy sip as well. I'm not really sure. I mean, whatever. It was nothing that's going to get me canceled. I did this. You'll probably see me do it again, But, yeah. E-Music in the house, saying aloha to everybody. And then we've got Aloha Misty coming in. Good to see you, Aloha Misty. It's been a second. And Midnight Frequency Radio saying, no, I didn't see you drink the ghastly water. No, it's fine. I just felt silly. All right, so sounds like we are off to another silly start, and that is okay, fine and dandy, like sour candy, as it were. All right, so now that we've got everybody in the house that we've said aloha to, at least I think we have, I am going to get the party started. All right, perfection. And it looks like Terry in Scotland is threatening me with some paracord bracelets. And that sounds delightful and wonderful, Terry. I will look for it when it will eventually get here. I'm guesstimating it will be just in time for Christmas, because that seems to be the rapidness of the mail these days. Never heard of an every courier, but hey, I have no doubt in my mind that they will find their way to Seattle on their own time. And it looks like Mama Sean came in just as I was starting the party with our little intro. So good to see you, Mama Sean. Happy Wednesday. And speaking of Wednesday, we're going to go to the beach. Yes, indeedly do. It is going to be a Whale Talk Wednesday, and also a few other happy things. The Whale Talk might not be so happy, but the other things are happy. So, alrighty, let's see here. What have we got so far? Terry saying every couriers says it takes a week to 10 days to the States. All right, that's cool. I'll still, I'll believe it when I see it. And I only say that, no disparagement to every couriers. I'm actually saying that just in disparagement of couriers in general, including the United States Postal Service, which unfortunately I used to love, but now I'm like, you guys, you don't even know where half your own post offices are these days. I mean, the amount of time and confusion it gets. My P.O. box is at an actual post office, y'all. It's not a private mailbox. It is a real-life post office box attached to a post office. And the distribution center in Tacoma and in Seattle don't seem to understand where to put, and they don't, it doesn't, They don't know where my post office box is. They don't apparently know where that post office is. It will literally take a week. Once it hits the Tacoma, Seattle post office, it'll go back and forth between Tacoma and Seattle, Tacoma and Seattle, Tacoma and Seattle, Tacoma and Seattle. They're trying to figure out where to do it. They don't understand. So yeah, I will believe it when I see it, and it's not because of the couriers, it's because of the post office. But Terry in Scotland cheering that 1,000 biddies, thank you so much. And let's see here. And Terry bragging about his postal service. I mailed a bracelet to Baby Bo in Dundee, and that only took 2 days. I don't doubt that. I have no disparaging comments towards the Scottish postal system. That's not where I'm coming from. That's not where I am at. I'm just talking about the United States Postal Service. They don't seem to even know where their own post offices are. I don't know how to make it any easier for them. It's not like it's not attached to a building that you guys own, but whatever. But speaking of Tacoma to Seattle and Seattle to Tacoma and Tacoma to Seattle and Seattle to Tacoma and Tacoma to Seattle and Seattle back, check this out, you guys. It's kind of a rare picture, and I'm pretty sure this took a drone at a very specific lens, but people are saying that this is AI, and I actually don't think it is, because you can, from the right angle, absolutely, from Tacoma, see over and up Puget Sound to a skyline further up north. That is Seattle. And then if you can really, it's very faint, but there's a little white mountain right behind the skyline of Seattle. That is Mount Baker. Then you see a really big white mountain to the right of the skyline of Seattle. That is Mount Rainier. And the skyline sort of between the two, that would be Bellevue. So this right here is probably 3 of the biggest cities in Washington State, all boop-a-doom, one thing, biggest mountain, second biggest mountain, I think Mount Baker might be, I'm not sure. Mount Baker, though, also a volcano, not sure if it's active, but I think all of them in the Washington State coast or Cascade Range are considered active, so who's to say? Either way, I thought this was a neat picture, and so I wanted to share it to you. Yeah, there you go. And let's see here. Terry in Scotland saying, I think the best way for me to receive payments is through Western Union. Okay. Before PayPal, it was the best way to pay. Okay. So, and PayPal, you don't do PayPal, or PayPal rather doesn't do you, it sounds like. So, Western Union, are you kidding me? Are you telling me that the, that the best technology we have to get, hey there, the Daily Shrimp Show. Good to see you. I'm not sure who or what the Daily Shrimp Show is, but I'm loving this. And PayPal doesn't like you and Luke. Okay. I find it really funny, though, that the next best option is technology from over 100 years ago. I mean, Western Union, weren't they like telegraph? That's how you wire money, as it were. That is good for the Western Union for keeping up with the times, because that would have been the last idea for me to just wire him some money through Western Union. Okay. Never would have thought of that. Good to know. And let's see here. It looks like Midnight Frequency Radio. You can't see a thing here. They're burning rice fields. Okay, so wait. Oh, okay, right. Okay, so now, all right, you guys, we've already had a discussion about this, and if you remember correctly, Arkansas is like the #1 rice growing state in the United States, oddly enough. So, Midnight Frequency Radio, obviously from Arkansas. Well, maybe not obviously now, but he used to be Carl in Arkansas, so that was obvious. Do they do that every year? Is that sort of a seasonal thing? You're in smoke season now in Arkansas because they're burning the rice fields. And also, is that normal? Like, is that... it never occurred to me that you'd burn a rice field. And mostly because I always think of rice being grown in water, and I realized that maybe rice isn't necessarily grown in water. Maybe they just flood the fields at certain times. I really don't know, but it sounds like, yes, every year they burn the rice fields. Wow, interesting. Yeah, it kills your lungs. I bet that's kind of what that's what I was thinking when you said you can't see anything. It's like, who cares about seeing anything? I'm caring more about breathing, and if you can't see anything, then breathing is definitely a problem. I hope that you've got some good air filters or air purifiers for your house, because it sounds like if you live in a zone that has regular smokiness, that might be a good investment. Not trying to spend your money for you, but I know that when it's smoke season here in the Seattle area, i.e. wildfire season, i.e. the end of August, beginning of September, there are some times when I am running my air filter, air purifier 24/7 because you've got to. And okay, you have room filters. Good. And the Daily Shrimp Show, or Mr. and Mrs. Aloha Friday. You changed your name for a minute. Excellent. Now we know what's going on. And why are we sending Terry money? What a great question. If you wanted to purchase, if you wanted to receive via donation a paracord bracelet done by Terry in Scotland, then he is able to accept donations via Western Union, even though PayPal seems logical, but apparently Terry in Scotland, Photoluke Hawaii, and PayPal are all in a bit of a standoff saying, I don't like you. You don't like me? I don't like you. Well, I don't like you if you don't like me. Well, you don't like me, so I don't like you. And they're basically not working together. Let me rephrase that. Photoluke and PayPal are not working together. Terry and PayPal are not working together. Terry and Photoluke still have no problem with one another from what I understand, okay? It's the PayPal that's the sticky wicket. All right, so let's see here. Your yellow hibiscus will reappear as soon as we figure out how. There you go. Well, I had a feeling whoever it was that was the Daily Shrimp Show, I had a feeling you guys were normal regulars, which really any regular here isn't that normal, but you know what I mean. I had a feeling you might have been a regular. I had a feeling you might have been a familiar, just using a brand new name, as it were, a new moniker. And so Terry's saying, if you want a paracord bracelet, send me your wrist size and mailing address. I'm not worried about getting remunerated. He's not worried about getting paid, okay, y'all? I don't know that. Remunerated? He don't want to get paid. But still, I think that he should get paid a little bit at least. And you're doing it for friends, and it keeps me off the streets. There you go. Hey, say what? Yeah, normal, maybe. Yeah, exactly. I see what you did there. The abnormal regulars, precisely. That is exactly like that. And we have all had friends like PayPal, says Pinelli. Exactly. And Terry says, you can DM him on Facebook or on Discord. My best guess is if you are also watching on Twitch, you probably could whisper him. On the other hand, he might have his settings set so you can't. And so I can't say that he will get that message now that I think about it. It should have been remunerated. I'm so ashamed. Okay, well, you don't need to be ashamed. I thought it was remunerated. That's what my mouth wanted to say. But then I read it and I was like, well, is this a word I don't know? Because there's lots of words I don't know. You could literally fill a book with all the words I don't know. And so I just assumed it was a word I didn't know. Alrighty, so let's see here. What should we talk about first? I've got all sorts of ideas, but how's about this? Even though, oh wait, no, he's not here yet. I was gonna talk about, well, you know what? Screw it. I'm gonna do it. We're gonna talk about trail dust behind his back. So as we might, let's see, do I still have these up here? I don't think I do, but as we might remember from last What am I talking about? From last stream, that's what I'm talking about. We spent a little bit of time talking about over the shoulder boulder holder boob cages that that Trail Dust made. And he also makes other things like branding irons. I don't think he calls them branding irons. I'm not really sure what he calls them, but they're super cute. And I thought I would share with you all of his little creations, these little branding irons. Little cowboy hat, the heart, the little normal, the smiley heart. Now these are all cute, but this one was my favorite. The dunce cap one was my favorite. But then I saw the owl, and I love the owl. Although the star's pretty cute too, not gonna lie. But I want a bunch of, I don't know what I want. I want what are them, baseboards or something? You know, baseboards that are on the floor of your house. I want a bunch of them, but like burned in with the owls. I think that'd be cool. And yeah. So I don't know, what do you call those? What do we call? I mean, first off, these are branding irons, I guess technically. But when you do woodwork, you know, sort of like he's doing there with the burning of the wood, you know, to make designs and stuff. What is that called? It's a craft. Is it called wood burning? I mean, I don't think it's called wood burning. It's called something, isn't it? I feel like it's called something, like very specific. Like you can buy something to even do it instead of having the brands, you know, you can burn in wood with the Bernie pen. All right, it sounds like we know exactly what I'm talking about, just like I know exactly what I'm talking about, which is not at all. Either way, I thought it was pretty cool stuff that he did, and I told him, that I liked the owl and the dunce the best. Oh, okay, you believe it is just called wood burning. Okay, which seems obvious, yet at the same time not very specific enough. But okay, we're just gonna call it woodworking. The whole fractal burns in woodworking is kind of crazy. I don't understand, because you said, I went to a Ren fair and they had fractal beer steins. Like, right there, I'm already confused. Then you bring it to fractal burns in woodworking is kind of crazy. I don't even know how to envision what you're saying. So you can burn the wood to make pretty fractal patterns. That does sound crazy, but I guess here's my big question. Are you telling me that the beer stein is wooden? And you do it with insane amounts of electricity and it's dangerous. Oh! So you don't press it in? You have it. I don't know if I'm envisioning what you're trying to tell me. So you basically electrocute the wood and it creates this fractal burn pattern from within. Like each wood piece will be different kind of thing. Okay, wow. Wow, interesting. I'm going to have to Google that one day. Well, actually, not one day. I'm going to have to Google that tonight. Because that sounds awesome. And the Daily Shrimp Show, it's a boring name. I say we rename wood burning. Well, if nothing else, to wood branding, or something. Because it's just I know how to burn wood. I put it in the fireplace. I know how to burn wood. I make a campfire from it. I know how to burn wood. As long as I got myself some kindling, I can burn wood. But that's not the same thing as what we're talking about. And yes, Mama Sean, the Japanese do have a wood burning technique for siding that keeps away bugs and makes it more fire retardant. It's very interesting. We actually discussed that particular Japanese building technique on this stream a few months ago. And not only does it make it more fire resistant, which is so counterintuitive, but it does, and rot resistant and bug resistant, it also looks really cool. It just the final finish of that glossy black surface just looks really cool. And yeah, exactly. That's what I'm talking about. Remember the cool Japanese wood burning I showed us once, Daily Shrimp Show? Yeah, that's exactly what I'm talking about. And that's what Mama Sean is talking about up on the stream. It really, even though it's sort of, well, there's no sort of, it's labor intensive. I don't know, man. I feel like if I had all the money in the world, or at least enough money to do what I want, if I were to get a house built, especially in a fire-prone area, I would want my wood siding to be Japanese treated like that. I don't remember what they called it exactly, but pyrography. Okay, first off, a Daily Shrimp Show. I like that word on paper, but I don't know if I like it to say. So let's try that one more time. Pyrography. I like it. It just takes it a minute to get off the tongue there. But I like it. There we go. I think we've got a new name now. Pyrography. Say it when you're drunk or not. I don't know. And let's see here. Picola T, greetings from offshore of Haines, where we're waiting out high winds, leaving some soggy passengers ashore until we return in a few hours. Oh, wow, Picola T, I would be so happy to be on that boat instead of those soggy passengers watching the boat go away, knowing they'll come back, but when? Now I'm stuck here. What do I do while I wait for you to come back to me? I would much rather be warm and cozy on that there boat. But yes, indeed, safe travels, Picola T. I don't know how much longer you're going to be on. Is this your third or your fourth Alaskan cruise so far this year? I know you're going for 4. I can't remember. Is this only number 3 or is this your final one? And if it is your final one, it is your final. I'm very curious to see your spreadsheet or your ranking system, your opinions, because for those of you who don't know, Picola T ended up winning, whatever, 4 different Alaskan cruises this summer. And they're all on different cruise lines, and they're all going to slightly different ports of call and different, routes. So after this year, Picola T is basically going to be the goddess of, oh, do you want to go cruise Alaska? Let me tell you how to cruise Alaska. This, and this, but never that. So, well, okay, mostly same ports, I suppose, but still, though, what the ship itself is like is, I guess, what we're really curious about, and which ship is just the better. And Picola T confirming, so warm and so glad we're on board, not standing in the rain. Exactly. Say what? How does one win so many cruise trips? Oh, well, you see, she used to live in Las Vegas, or right outside of Las Vegas, and so she got a whole lot of, casino points and things just by going to the casinos, not necessarily gambling. Gambling, the slot machines. Because this is how gambling looks these days. Oh my, did I just show how old I am? Gambling. But then, just various, and then it sounds like, now Picola T can explain it way better, but ultimately it sounds like once you sort of start accumulating points and winning things, it sort of snowballs. And so suddenly she ended up with 4 cruises that were just no, she had to pay for the airfare to the ports, and to and from. So it's not like they're free, but a good chunk of it is free. And so why not? No, not fist pumping, Picola T. The slot machines 50 years ago when you had to actually pull the lever down to do the slot machines. That was that was what I was doing when I said gambling, Yeah, And slots, oh yeah, slots are still the money makers in the casinos for sure, because they're the least intimidating, but they don't do the burr 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 anymore. They do the boop ba doop. And you can quote me on that. Not the burr burr burr, they do the boop ba doop. All of the machines are boop ba doop these days. I don't think they've got any more burr burr burrs on the floor, and if they do, it's on a very, very old casino. And I was such a bad gambler at Vegas, they kept giving me the look. Now, when you say, oh wait, hold on, Felicia's in the house. Felicia, I didn't see you, but apparently you're here. And I want, there you are, YouTube side Felicia. Hey Felicia, sorry I missed you, but good to see you. And yeah, the one-armed bandits, exactly. And but say what, I have to wonder, when you say that you were such a bad gambler, do you mean like you were a gambling addict and you kept coming back even though you shouldn't and they knew you shouldn't? Or were you such a bad gambler, or were you just losing all the time? Because I don't know, I would think that they would love you if you were losing all the time. Why would they be giving you the look? You're just giving them money. See, I didn't know the rules and processes, so I messed it up. Right. You do have to do it the right way. And I think actually that's one reason why, now obviously I have no real scientific background or footnotes to support this, but my thesis is such. People who don't know how to gamble, i.e. a lot of people, really stick to the slot machines, which is why the slots are so popular, because there are so many rules and regulations and expectations and unwritten expectations or whatever. I know I just said that twice, whatever, of gambling at a table, that it's too intimidating to gamble at a table, be it blackjack, be it pai gow, be it even roulette, be it that other one that I don't even know how to play it, craps. Somebody explained to me craps. I just don't get it. There's just so many things that they expect you to know. And if you don't know it, oh man, they really, they do. Yeah, they give you the look. They slap your hand practically with that little look. I learned the hard way on a roulette table once. It's like, once the marker, like they put this little marker down on a roulette table, and once that marker's down, that means you can't put any more money on any of the spots. Well, I didn't know that. Yeah, okay. Talk about being accused of being a cheater. It's like, I don't even know what I'm doing, let alone how to cheat at it. So, no. So just so you know, because here's the deal, right? I don't know nothing about nothing. And so I thought, and this is what you get for thinking, I thought the roulette table would be easy peasy. I watched how it was done, and it's like, you just put your coins on the square, and then it lands on, and then you win. Like, I feel like I can do that. And I can sort of, but I didn't notice the part about the stopper, the little crystal stopper that they put on. And so I learned real quick though, and I remember. So if you ever do want to play roulette, you can just belly up to the table and put your money down when everybody else is. But as soon as they put that little burp-a-dur stopper down, no more money on the table. No more money on the table. And let's see here. The first time gambling at a table, the dealer helped me, and when I was up 100, she told me to walk away. She's gonna win it back if she stayed. If you stayed, there you go. There you go. And let's see here. Terry was asking something. Say what? Responding. I think the table stakes for blackjack are like $20 a hand now. Yeah, I don't know, and I think it probably varies from casino to casino. But let's see here, Terry. I won $100 on the '74 World Series. My associate suggested we parlay some weed with it. I voted for playing blackjack at South Shore Tahoe. Me and Phil Brazil from the base played for 18 hours straight. Wow, that's nice. And Terry in Scotland, agreeing with say what, but this was back in the good old days when they had dollar tables. And $20 is hard to find except daytimes. It's higher at night. Really? Wow. Right. See, yeah, I don't know. I do know, though, yeah, I don't remember when I used to play blackjack poorly. I don't remember what the minimum bet was, but I do remember I would usually just go to the table with $100. So I can only assume that the minimum bet was like $5 or $10. But what I do know is, especially like with blackjack, there are so many if, ands, or buts, or like, if you get 2 of these same things, then you're going to want to double down, or you don't want to, or never double down on 11, or blah, blah, blah. I don't even know what double down is anymore. But anyway, I didn't know all of those, like, oh, you just should never do that, those kind of things. And so blackjack players hated it if I got at the certain location on the table, like if I was the first hand or whatever, because I was nothing but chaos. I didn't know the rules, so I broke them, and I didn't know I was breaking rules. And they're rules that are allowed to be broken. They're just sort of unspoken rules, like, well, if you get an 11, you really shouldn't do that, or you really should do that, and then I wouldn't. And so many times I'd hear somebody down, oh, you just got my 7, and I was like, that ain't your 7 until it's in your hand, my friend. And so first seat is the worst for rookies. Right, but see, I'd be in the first seat, and I'd be screwing. First seat was great for me. Even as a rookie, I ended up winning a lot, but I ended up screwing everybody else down the table. They hated me because every time I would do something that you're not supposed to do, or that's a bad idea, it would end up working out for me. And so I'd actually end up winning, even though it's like, I don't know. I don't remember if it's you're always supposed to double down on 11, or if you're never supposed to double down on 11. But whichever that rule is, I did the opposite. It worked out wonderfully for me, and everybody at the table was really, really, really pissed off at me. So there you go. And let's see here. Oh no, this conversation is going to hit you in the ads, isn't it? I don't know. Say what? I don't know. Is that how that works? It probably does. And Terry in Scotland, casinos in Nevada used to hold the majority of silver dollars. In the country back then, we used silver dollars instead of chips. Oh, interesting. Yeah, no, it's all about chips and electronic stuff now. And let's see here. And now they deal from a 6-deck shoe that constantly shuffles, no card counting now. No, that's not true, Terry. Every casino has its own things, and actually some tables even advertise 2-deck shoe. So I know that not the standard might be 6. I have no doubt in my mind that the vast majority are doing that. But I do remember when I was playing blackjack. Now, granted, this was like 15, 20 years ago, at a very specific casino that I went to near my house. They actually advertised 2-deck shoes, and I never played that because I knew that the people there probably were counting cards, and I really didn't want to mess them up, because people, when it comes to gambling and losing money, people get really angry really quick. Really angry really quick. You can make some flippin' for real enemies accidentally at a casino. And Bacola T, casinos now have virtual dealers and electronic consoles for each gambler. Very creepy. Yeah, see, that's a whole other level of intimidation to me now. Oh, that's another reason for me just to stay away from the tables. And Mitchie Mama, I'm glad you haven't fallen asleep yet. It's only, what? Is it 3:30, 2:30 in the afternoon where you're at? Is it time for your afternoon nap? We can talk about boring stuff if you want. Then you can go to sleep. You can go moi moi. Good to see you, though. And, okay, so let's see here. Casinos. What were we talking about with casinos? How did we even get to casinos? I don't think it matters. But, But so it sounds like all you guys are, for the most part, not table players. But I'm gonna ask you anyway. Does anybody know how to play craps? Because I have asked so many people how to play, and nobody knows. I feel like you're just throwing dice into the wind. And, let's see here. Terry said, I always played at the Sahara in South Shore. I suspected the dealers were crooked at Barney's across from Harrah's. Somebody bombed Barney's later. Ooh, that's not good. And, let's see here. Shoot craps. Yeah, shoot craps. Terry knows how to shoot craps. 7 come 11. Yeah. And exactly, the Daily Shrimp Show. Oh, crap. I don't know nothing about that at all, says Midnight Frequency Waker. That's why. 7 come 11. Awesome. That sounds like something they would say in craps. Yes, it does. And that's all I know. I don't know what that means. And exactly, Pinnell, I read about it in historical romances. And I do know enough to know that at the craps table, where you stand actually matters. So, like, if you're watching and you don't want to play, you need to be sure to not be in a certain area, because if you're lined up in a certain area at the table, that implies you're in line. Now, I'm not going to tell you where on the table it implies you're in line, because I don't actually know, which is one of the many reasons why I'm even too intimidated to go up and belly up to a craps table, because I don't want to stand in the wrong place and then suddenly become the next shooter, and I don't really know. And say what? Bring back bridge and cribbage. I've never played bridge, but I used to play cribbage with my grandparents. And cribbage is actually, I think cribbage is a good game to teach the kids, because it's good for math skills, and also actually it's a portable game, dude. You can play it anywhere. All you need is a deck of cards and a little board, and you're good to go. And Midnight Frequency Raider, I don't even know how to play Go Fish. I don't remember the nuances of it, like how many cards you get dealt, etc., but I do remember vaguely how to play Go Fish. I used to know how to play all these card games when I was a kid, and they are just completely out my... none of them gambling, but like Spite and Malice. I loved Spite and Malice. It was such a great game. Don't remember how to play it. Couldn't even begin to tell you. So let's see here. My former sales manager at Coastal Windows told a great story of how he won $250,000 shooting craps. They gave him the money in a briefcase, and he got an escort. Oh my God. But Mitchie Mama, here's the real question. Did he know what he was doing? Or did he just accidentally win $250,000? And okay, so Terry is coming in, hopefully with something that will make sense. Oh, he did know what he was doing. Okay, good. So, yeah, Pinnell, I'm all about solitaire. And you know what, Pinnell? Sometimes I cheat. Cheating at solitaire. That's such a lame-ass thing to do. Oops, sorry, I didn't mean to swear, but that's such a lame thing to do. But I've been known to do it just to make it done. But all right, so Terry in Scotland is trying to explain if a new shooter rolls a 7 or 11. See, you've already lost me. I understand. Okay, if a new shooter rolls a 7 or 11, got it. Everybody wins on the pass line. Suddenly, I don't know what the flying fork you are talking about. If they roll a 2, 3, or 12, everybody loses. Otherwise, what they roll becomes the point. They must roll the point before a 7 to win. If they roll a 7, they crap out. You can place single bets on 8 the hard way and 4 the hard way and a few others. Yeah, okay. I think my eyes have officially glazed over. I'm gonna need a real life explanation as it's happening because it doesn't really explain to me, like, what is a 4 the hard way? What is an 8 the hard way? Is 8 the hard way like a 5 and a 3 or a 6 and a 2? Or is 8 the hard way a 4 and a 4? Because it would be more difficult to get matching 4s. Well, no, it would be equally difficult. What is 8 the hard way? What does that mean? How about we just start there? I always do everything the hard way. Exactly. Okay, so 4 the hard way is 2 2s. So 8 the hard way is 2 4s. Okay. Okay. Still don't... and I guess that's where the lesson's gonna end today. All right. Okay, now I guess... All right, now here's the next question. What is the pass line? What is the pass line? Because that does... When you threw that one in there up above when you were all explaining... I mean, it sounds like a very simple, reasonable explanation that you gave. It's very straightforward, but... I still don't understand. And if everybody wins on the pass line, I don't know what that means, but I do know that I want to pick my nose right now because it's so itchy. The pass line pays even odds. You're betting on the new shooter. I don't know what that means at all. I don't even... yeah, I'm okay. You guys, we're gonna go to the beach, okay? No, we're not gonna go to the beach. I am just completely lost at this point. Let's see here. And, Puzzycat coming in with the truth. My shows are full of crap lately, and it's not chili from a child or crap bed sheets. Oh, yeah, I know, really. You're right, you're noticing a theme, Puzzycat. Good to see you, by the way. My shows are full of crap lately. If it's not from a child or a kitty cat, it's the casinos. That is so funny. My shows are full of crap lately. And I was trying to explain the odds to Mrs. A, and I got 3 words out, and she said, stop. And then the come line is betting on the next roll, regardless of what the shooter rolled as a point. Yeah. And aloha, Misty, for being quiet. Had a bad day. Well, I hope that you are maybe giggling at the utter ignorance that I am displaying here, because I am ignorant right now. I mean, ignorant. And Trail Dust 55 came in from doing your crafts. Trail Dust, we talked about your crafts, and we decided that, well, first off, what are these called? Are, like, when you're doing this kind of art on wood, is this considered wood burning or wood branding, or what do you call that? Because we decided, and by we, I think it was Mrs. Aloha Friday, decided, or it might have been Mr., decided that it was called pyrography. But we're pretty sure it's called something different. And were these the crafts that you were playing with in the when before here you were before? Because that sentence made sense. Electric wood burning. Thank you, Puzzycat. And no, I don't think Trail Dust has crabs. He has crafts. But I did want to talk about crabs, and we will talk about crabs. But not right now, because right now we are a minute late for our Lono listening break. So, let's listen to some Lono. Boop.
Boy, Lona. Aheala oe, mai kaili, molo kainui ahina, ho'i mai kaua, e pili aheala oe, ho'i mai, aheala oe, ho'i mai, molo kai nui ahina, o mehana uleo o aina kaya ke a me kuapaka please oh please bring hoalona home he puna hele hoalona aua na i ke kai paani ano keiki at the wharf e aloha no kailio au kai e aloha no kailio au kai Molokai hui ahina o mehana uleo o aina kaya ke a me kuapaka please oh please bring hoalona home Make au e hauoli ia oe E ke aloha Hoa i paani kai papau E puna hele hoa lohona E puna hele hoa lohona Molokai nui ahina O mehana o puleo o Aina kaya ke a me kuapaka Please oh please bring hoalona home Molokai nui ahina O mehana o puleo o Aina kaya ke a me kuapaka Please oh please bring hoalona home Please oh please bring hoalona home Please oh please bring hoalona home Hoalona
Yes, once again, another smooth transition from a video to my face. It's as though I know what I'm doing, and I've done it before, except for I haven't and I don't. I mean, I have, but I don't. Whatever. Anyway, so yeah. And let's see here. Oh, we're talking about crabs, which is good because I'm going to show you something about a crab in a minute. There was a guy in our shop at the base in England who got the crabs in London. He would get overcome from time to time and had to run to latrine to have a good scratch. Our supervisor told him them crabs gotta eat too, son. Oh, that's so gross. He should have gotten an ointment. But these aren't the kind of crabs that we're talking about for peeps. These are the kind of crabs that are the cutest little crabs in the world, and I don't know the context of this video. I can only surmise from what the video posts that this particular person in the video asked for people to donate a bunch of shells. And he went to the beach. Well, you'll see.
Finally, when you receive me in your kingdom, and I'm seeing your face for the first time, I can hardly wait, yeah. There I'll be sailing into the sunset, and take me to your sunrise. where I will live again. Get me something better than this, and do me something better than this, 'cause I can't take this anymore, no. Get me something better than this, and do me something better than this, 'cause I can't take this anymore. Get me something.
I just thought that was so cute. It was like the word got out on the Crab Street that there's a big fire sale going on, a going out of business sale. Come get your new houses. There's a whole pile of houses. Someone just dumped a bunch of houses on the beach. And all the crabs were like, "Ooh, I'm gonna go get me a house." And the other crabs were like, "I'll trade you my house for your house. You're gonna get a new house, but I want your house because it's gonna fit me now." And I just thought it was very cute. And it looks like Thomas the Turtle. Hey, Thomas the Turtle, subscribed for 39 months in a row. Good to see you. We were talking about crabs, the cute kind. Well, we were talking about all the kinds for a minute, but we were really focusing on the cute kind because the cute kind are better than the, well, not so cute kind. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying. But now that we are at the beach, I thought I would like to show you some wonderful, wonderful, wonderful videos of J-Pod. And I don't know if you remember, so I'm going to give you guys a brief synopsis. If you've been here for a long time, you know that we talk a lot about orcas. And we talk about the different type of orcas that are in the Puget Sound area, aka the Salish Sea. And we know that we've got two types that hang out in the Salish Sea. We've got the southern residents, and we've got the transients, the Biggs transients. Now, the Biggs transients are their own thing. They eat mammals, sea lions, etc. The southern residents, on the other hand, they're the ones who eat salmon, and their diet is exclusively salmon. Now, in the southern resident group, there are three groups: J-Pod, K-Pod, and L-Pod. And hey, Sea Honda, good to see you. So J-Pod, this is a picture of some of the J-Pods. J36 is a female. I don't know what J52, J50, or J16 are, and I don't know why J16 is not in that picture. But I'm thinking J16 might be a male. No, this is not a picture of K-Pod. I think we're going to mention K-Pod a little bit later, but this is J-Pod. And this picture was taken a few years ago, but on September 10th, J-Pod was spotted in the northern Salish Sea, up by Haida Gwaii and Vancouver Island, and they made their way through Active Pass around 1 a.m. and they were sighted in a shipping lane just west of North Arm. They were active, breaching, tail slapping, spy hopping continuously, and just having basically a good old time. And on September 11th, there was more of the J-Pod was spotted off of Nanaimo, which is on the lower end of Vancouver Island. And they were basically, breaching, tail slapping, generally having a good time. And here is some videos of the whales having a good old time on September 11th. And let's see here. We've got this one. Yeah, so that's one video of them. And J-Pod, all of them looking like they're having a great, great time on September 11th. This is another video of them doing their thing. And you can see there's a bunch of them. And this is taken off of a ferry between Vancouver Island and Vancouver City proper. Or not Vancouver City, actually, probably like Burnaby, but whatever. Or Gibson's, actually. That's neither here nor there. These are all taken in a ferry in Canadian waters on the Salish Sea. And J-Pod is just doing, like I said, they're hanging out together, doing their thing. And it looked like everything was absolutely fine and dandy with the J-Pod. Unfortunately, on September 12th, one day later, Late in the morning on September 12th, several sources alerted the Center for Whale Research to what appears sightings of a southern resident killer whale pushing a deceased calf in Rosario Strait. The whale research team arrived early afternoon, and they were absolutely able to confirm that J36 was pushing a deceased formed neonate with umbilical cord still attached. Based on the size of the calf, we estimate that the calf was either full term or near full term. It is unclear if it was a stillbirth or if the calf died shortly after birth. Based on what we last observed, J36, this calf would have been born within the last 3 days. Researchers from from all the places basically soon arrived at the scene and conducted further documentation and measurements. We will share more when we can and work with other research teams to put together more information we have about this calf and J36's status. This is at least the third calf that J36 has given birth to and passed away. J36 has been trying hard for her pod. And the J pod, if you remember, is actually one of the smallest pods. And they don't know why this happened. They don't, given the abundance of the salmon run this year and the activities of the southern residents within all the pods, they don't think that this year was a bad salmon year. They think that it's, from all evidence, this year the whales were pretty well fed. They weren't necessarily starving the way they have been. They're not saying that they weren't starved. They're not saying that she didn't have enough nutrition, but they're not saying that that was clearly the case. They do, however, wonder, as Puzzycat pointed out, all the junk in the ocean. And the poisons within the mother, obviously going to the calf. And so, absolutely a sorrowful time for the J-Pod. And every pod needs another member being born. But the J-Pod really needs, they need more than they can probably provide. And unfortunately, this Whale Talk Wednesday is not all shiny and bright. I think that right now we are watching, in real time, an extinction happening in real time. How many calves has she birthed? I believe she has birthed at least, if I remember what I read about her earlier this week, we were actually going to talk about this last stream, but we were having such a good time last stream. I didn't want to bring this into the fold. If I remember, with the research I was doing on Saturday, she has given birth at least 4, possibly 5 times. She has had one successful birth, and that birth was a long time ago. But her last 3, including this one, have not been successful. And is she the mama who lost other cubs? Yes and no. Pecola T, she is not she's not the infamous one that carried her baby for weeks upon weeks upon weeks upon weeks a few years ago. I believe that one was from, I think that might have been from a K-pod. She has, however, lost other calves, but I don't think that she's lost other calves. She's not the one that I think you're thinking of, is what I'm trying to say there. And so, yeah, that was not necessarily a happy thing that happened this last week, but on the other end of the spectrum, that does give us a little bit of hope. So whales live a long time, and they can give birth actually quite late in their lives. And there's this other whale called the Ocean Sun, and she's from K-Pod, and she is estimated to be 100 years old. And she gave birth when she was 50 years old. Unfortunately, she gave birth to a beautiful specimen who was captured off Whidbey Island in Penn Cove and shipped away to Florida. Her name was Lolita, and she had unfortunately died there before we could get her back home. There was plans to bring her back to the Puget Sound, but she passed away before that could happen. Anyway, so Terry and Scotland coming in. Southern resident killer whales from J-Pod have been observed central Puget Sound as of September 14th, marking their first visit of the season, but the pod has recently experienced another calf loss. The current population of J-Pod is 26 individuals. The number of that has declined from previous levels due to a series of deaths between 2016 and 19. The pod's survival remains critically dependent on the availability of Chinook salmon, their primary prey. Exactly. But they are survivors, and Ocean Sun is an example of that. And here's a little story. It's not all good, but here's a little story of Ocean Sun and just what they can do. You know, how strong they can be. So here we go.
We all love our southern resident orcas, but did you know that one of them is considered the oldest orca in the world? Experts say the orca Ocean Sun is close to 100 years old. The Orca Network tells us her life has been full of tragedy and hardship.
Ocean Sun should have died years ago, but she persevered. Really excited for this story. KIRO 7's Brooke Griffin has been working hard on it, and she shares this story.
Ocean Sun is known as a survivor, a ringleader, and a mother. Maybe even a little bit of a show-off, too, if you're lucky enough to see her here in the Puget Sound. But most importantly, she's known for her impeccable ability to adapt, even in grief and hunger.
Researchers estimate that she was born about 1928.
Ocean Sun, also known as L25, is 97 years old.
When she comes up next, you know she's a big whale.
Howard Garrett with the Orca Network says she's part of the southern resident L-Pod, surviving polluted water, famine, and capture. In August 1970, Ocean Sun's pod was herded into Penn Cove off Whidbey Island.
The net pens were set up where they pushed the mothers away to net the babies and haul them away.
Around 100 orcas ripped from the Puget Sound.
Lolita was her daughter, hauled away.
Lolita was sold to the Miami Seaquarium, never seeing Ocean Sun again.
It was a horrendous day. It was a sort of the scene of a kind of a massacre from their point of view.
But that is not the only threat of her lifetime.
Even more than the captures has been the lack of sufficient Chinook salmon.
Researchers say there's been a major food shortage for more than 30 years, but Ocean Sun always adapts.
She's a survivor. I don't know how she does it.
In November, the L-Pod returned to the 1970 capture sites for the first time, showing orcas can forgive, but don't forget.
She shared those stories. She described somehow what happened because they behaved very strangely over the exact capture sites.
Ocean Sun may not be related to the L-Pod by blood, but she is a leader. Garrett says those orcas treat her like the mother she should have been. Brooke Griffin, KIRO 7 News.
We all love our southern resident orcas, but did you know?
All right, so, let's get rid of some reverbs. There we go. So, Terry and Scotland coming in with the facts. I'm getting my J's and my K's confused, and apparently it is it isn't J-Pod that is the smallest. It's K-Pod that's the smallest, which actually makes sense since so many of their young ones were ripped from were ripped from their mother's lineage in 1970, and so as Terry's saying, since studies began in the 70s, K-Pod's been the smallest of the three, and between the three southern resident pods, the J, the K, and the L, we're looking at about 72, 73 whales in total that make up the entire southern resident population. So that 100 that were ripped from them was the start of the decimation. This half, it's more than what we have left. That's more than half of what we have left. Or more than double, or if you know what I'm trying to say, math is hard. Anyway, since studies began in the 70s, K-Pod has been the smallest of the 3 southern resident pods, usually numbering between 15 and 20 individuals. There were years when K-Pod was known to split into 2 groups, with one subgroup sometimes spending a large portion of the year with J or L pods. After a few matrilines have died out, however, it seems the pod as a whole has become a more cohesive unit. And historically, Ks would come into the Salish Sea and join J-Pod sometimes during the spring months. They would be in inland water for most of July, August, and September, before exiting the region in the fall and spending the rest of the year on the outer coast. Since the early 2000s, K-Pod made a shift in their fall and winter habitat usage and started spending more time in Puget Sound from October through December. Nowadays, Ks are rarely seen in inland waters during the first half of the year, which makes sense because they were just saying recently in the mid-September is their first sighting in the inner Salish Sea inland waters. So that seems, what Terry just posted is consistent even until this year. And so this wasn't necessarily the happiest topic, but we do oftentimes talk about whales on Wednesday, and this was the latest in the news of the southern residents. And since I talk about them, I'm going to talk about them, and this was new news on the block, and so unfortunately, like I said, not necessarily the happiest news, but it is what it is. And Puzzy Cat, do the pods interbreed with each other, or do they breed with other pods? You know, Puzzy, I still have never really been able to figure that out, and I don't. What a good question, and honestly, I don't know. But one thing what I can say is this news article that we just watched talking about Ocean Sun, they said that even though she's in the, what was it, the L pod, the K pod, or whatever, even though she's in the L pod and she travels with the L pod, they did say that she's not of them. She's not of that pod originally. So I'm going to assume they do interbreed amongst the pods. I would hope so, frankly. But honestly, I can't explain, or I don't know for certain how they pick their mate, who gets to be the daddy, etc., etc. I just don't know. And it could explain why she had 3 stillborn if she's interbreeding with her own lineage. Totally true. I'm hoping that the sorry, I'm reading and and thinking. I'm hoping that the researchers will be able to tell us soon, eventually, why they think that calf died. Be it pollution, be it starvation, or other things. So, is she like a mother-in-law? Well, I think maybe she I think probably okay, so I have no idea if this is how it is, but I think what probably happened is, okay, so let's just say Ocean Sun was born of a K-pod mom, but she mated with an L-pod dude, and so now she's married into his family, and so now she's hanging with the L-pods and gave birth to Lolita, who was considered part of the L-pod because her daddy was an L-pod. I don't know. That's where my brain is. That's how my brain is interpreting what that news story said. So yeah, and then let's see here. I don't know what the Daily Shrimp Show just said because I was talking about other things. So hold on. We were distracted by 5 baby raccoons, their mother, and a skunk, all in close proximity to our backyard. We were distracted by 5 baby raccoons, their mother, and a skunk, all in close proximity to our back door. The youngsters don't understand skunk etiquette. Risky. Oh no, it's stinky. And Pussycat, I think you did mention that you studied to be a marine biologist. And so your questions are super right on point. And I wish I had a better explanation for you and everybody, because I only know about this much. But I always like to make it known that I only know about this much. So don't think I know everything. But I'm still sharing with everybody the little bit that I know. And at Terry in Scotland coming in with the real truth, loving the Southern residents is not for the faint of heart. For all the moments of joy, there are a lot of them. There's also significant moments of grief. One of the lessons you've learned from the whales is how to hold on to both at the same time. There you go. There you go. And yeah, we're going to need a genealogy chart for this. Precisely. And so Terry coming in with J36. J36 is the mom who just recently had the stillborn. So J36, her name is Alki, has had a particularly difficult time of it. Her first documented calf, J52, was born in 2015 when Alki was 16 years old and only lived for 2 years. Since then, thanks to research done by some folks, we know that she has lost late-stage pregnancies in 2019, 2021, and 2023, and 2025. Okay, so I got it wrong and I got it right. She has had 5 pregnancies. One of them was semi-successful, and 4 of them were miscarriages and or stillbirths. That's a lot. And let's see here. While we grieve alongside J36, our hearts are buoyed by a little bit of by the presence and antics of calves J62 and J63. Both are growing and active and have been the source of smiles over the last week. Personality-wise, they seem like they might be a little different too. J62 has always been tucked in close to mom, often surrounded by family. J63 is a little more of a wild child in the general vicinity of mom, but not right by her. More often than not, working on perfecting the perfect back breech, side breech, and belly flop. She's gotten higher than I've ever seen from a killer whale calf. Yes, that is true. If you ever see in the recent, lore of the Southern residents, if you ever see a joyful baby orca calf jumping out of the water, the money has it that is J63. J63 is the jumpiest jumper that ever did jump. I know that the J-pod has nothing to do with jumping, but J63 is J all the way. Jumping. Very, very cute. The pictures I've seen of J63, 1000% cute. And so there we have it. And hey, by the way, Pussycat, I recently had an offer from a friend who lives in Clearwater, Florida, to go visit Clearwater when she's not at her condo. Actually, I have let me rephrase. That sounded rude. I have actually an invitation to go visit her when she is at her condo as well. But she has also extended me the invitation to stay at her condo when she's not there. Clearwater, that's totally on the other side of the state from you, isn't it, Pussycat? How far is Clearwater from where you're at? If I remember correctly, and looking at the map, I was like, oh, that's not nearly as close as I thought. But, yeah, Clearwater's on the west coast, and you're on the east coast of the island, right? So, yeah, okay, that's what I thought. So, but how long of a drive is that, roughly? Yeah, it's very near Tampa. Yeah, it's right in the heart of Scientology. It's kind of weird, but whatever. But how many hours would it be to come drive and visit you? I don't want to visit you. I want to visit Kylo. No, actually, I would like to visit you, but I would also like to visit Kylo. Anyway, I'm just wondering, for an imaginary field trip in my head, I was just wondering, is it like 4 hours across the state? Okay, 4 to 5 hours. Okay, that's kind of what I thought. It sort of looked like that from Washington level, all right, 4 or 5 hours. Okay, cool. It is the heart of Scientology, the Clearwater, the city of Clearwater is, but my friend is not a Scientologist at all. In fact, she bought the condo, I think, before the church had made any presence in that town. She's had that condo for decades upon decades. And so yeah, that wasn't the reason why she chose Clearwater. Just to make that clear. All right, so let's see here. We've got a couple minutes left, and I don't know if I've got any other funny things to talk to you or show you, but I do. Well, you know what? Let's see here. Do you guys like pumpkins? It's pumpkin season, right? Do you like pumpkins? There's a pumpkin down the street from my house. It's a pumpkin that needs a help. They want to bring it to the pumpkin contest, and it's too big to lift. So they need help. And the pumpkin, it has a name. The name is Big Booty Judy. And I just thought that I would show you a really cute pumpkin. And let's see here. But instead of pumpkin talk, we're going to talk about, I know, Pinnell, isn't it a big pumpkin? And actually, to tell you the truth, I think that pumpkin is the kind of pumpkin that they grow for like Libby's canned pumpkin, because apparently the kind of pumpkins that you get canned pumpkin from aren't orange. They're this weird beige color. And so all I can think of is how many cans of Libby pumpkin can be in that pumpkin, and are they going to give away some of that pumpkin after they go to the prize? And if Judy wins the prize, because she's Big Booty Judy, can we eat her? I want to eat Big Booty Judy. I like pumpkin stuff. Let me eat Big Booty Judy. And let's see here. Your daughter works at Outback, so we can go dinner there next to the Speedway Daytona. Oh, yum. I like Outback. It's got yummy onions and steaks and desserts, but don't get me started on that. Yeah, it looks like a Puyallup Fair pumpkin. I agree, Picola T, but the Puyallup Fair has been going on for a while, and they haven't moved it to the Puyallup Fair yet, so I'm thinking it's not the Puyallup Fair that they're going to, and I don't really know of what other pumpkin contest there is. I mean, maybe the Evergreen State Fair, has that happened yet, and they have to go up to Monroe? I don't really know. So yeah, I have no idea, and let's see here. Yes, and so, Terry in Scotland, I wasn't ignoring you, I was just wrapping up the pumpkin talk. It looks like you talked to your surgeon today. Excellent. And she said we would start the bacterial treatment soon. Awesome. Now, hopefully, hold on, wait. Mrs. Aloha no longer wants anything to do with pumpkins. Oh no. May I ask why? What was the pumpkin trauma? What was the pumpkin trauma? I really would love to know the pumpkin trauma. And Mrs. A also said, my hair looks pretty tonight. Why, thank you. I have, as mentioned before, been switching over to a different hair care system. And so before I do this, I do want to ask Terry, when the bacterial stuff, do you have to go in? What kind of, like, what's the treatment protocol? Do you have to like go in and get a injection, or is it something you can do at home? I guess my question is, how big of a pain in the arse is it for you to go do that? And then, so back to my pretty hair. Part of the reason why my hair is so pretty these days is because I have recently started using Prose. It's made just for you. And you have to fill out a questionnaire. You get to choose your flavor or your scent. And then after you let them know what it is you want, they send you custom made shampoo and conditioner. And it comes in a little bottle. Yeah. And you can reuse the bottle, and they blah, blah, blah. And at first I didn't like it. I didn't like, I still actually am not a fan of the smell, so I'm probably going to switch up my scent next order. But the more I use it, the more better I'm enjoying it. However, they also send you a styling product, and this styling product is a piece of crap to go with the crap theme that we had earlier today. Their curling cream sucks. I will not be ordering that ever again. The shampoo and the conditioner, not that bad, but the curling cream, no can of that. So I'm not saying that you guys should, if you've got curly hair, long hair, short hair, frizzy hair, and you just want to have your hair look better to the bestest, it sort of works. It's good shampoo and conditioner, I'll give you that, but they ain't got no style, baby doll. They ain't got no style. I don't like it. And so that's enough about my hers. Let's see here. The Daily Shrimp Throat, seeing that pumpkin, or technically a squash. I think all pumpkins are squash, but not all squash are pumpkins. Yeah, I don't know. Good point. I don't know. It's sort of like a rectangle versus a square thing. They're all rectangles, but they're not all square. And let's see here. Okay, so she said we would do the bacterial treatments at a hospital closer to your home. Sweet! I would go in, get the injection, and go back home. No overnight stays. Excellent. That's ultimately what I was hoping to hear. That A, it's not going to be a pain in the arse to get the injections, and B, you don't have to stay overnight. That is a beautiful thing. And you know what else is a beautiful thing? Kylo is right here with Pussycat laying on his feet. He got to go for a walk tonight. It's been really fall-like tonight. No more summer heat in the 90s. Nice. Instead, what? You've just got heat in the late upper 70s. It's like fall. It's 77, says Pussycat. That's right. 77 degrees. It's like fall. Today was 77 degrees, and it was not like fall. Yesterday was 87 degrees. It was definitely not like fall. I'm telling you guys, September is our secret summer here in Seattle. So if you ever do have to come into the Puget Sound, and you want to avoid the summertime traffic, September, dude. September's where you want to be. Maybe early October, like the first week of October, also doable. After that, you are risking some of our rain. But Pecola Key coming in with reminding me that I'm breaking an oath of the Puget Sound Pacific Northwesterner. Shh! Don't tell people about September! You're breaking the rules as a local! Don't tell people about September! Then they're gonna start coming here! That's true, Pecola T. I am breaking the rules. I'm breaking the law. And 59 degrees overnight. Oh, that's beautiful, Pussycat. I do enjoy a 59 degree overnight, though. Say what? No, 95. You can keep your 95 right there. Right there in California. 95 can stay in California. 95 can stay in Arizona. 95 can stay in Florida if it wants to. 95 don't need to come up here to Seattle. Not even in September. And Terry in Scotland also thinks my hair is pretty tonight. Why, thank you guys. That's very sweet, because earlier I was very unhappy with my hair because it looked greasy at the top and dry at the bottom. But apparently, you guys, on film, it's a whole different thing. And Mama Sean, we're down to 92. Darling, just keep that 92. I'd rather have a 29 than a 92. Actually, that's not true. I wouldn't like a 29, not this early in the season. But I definitely would not like a 92 this late in the season either. 92, that's July weather. Because July is usually what I like to think of as our hottest month. So, my hair is full of body today. Yep, well, and last night, actually, one of my friends was commenting on how pretty my hair looks and how she thinks it looks darker. She thought I dyed my hair, and I was just like, no, I haven't dyed my hair in years. And let's see here, 56 degree here, jacket weather. For a second, I forgot where you were, Pecola T, and I was like, it's 56 degrees in Hawaii? What the flying fork? No, it's 56 degrees in Alaska. Much more in line with what you would expect. And Pecola T, I know that it's only maybe been an hour since you showed up to say that you're all, cozy on the boat and the like, but have the winds died down? Are those poor people waiting for the boat? Are you back? Have you gone to pick them up yet? Or are they still waiting? And having a great hair today because of the low humidity, says Puzzy Cat. Yeah, see, whereas my hair generally is better with the high humidity. And let's see here. The Daily Show. Ooh, 92 or 29. Tough choices. Exactly. It's not that tough of a choice, actually. I still think I'd go with the 29. I said it. That was my. Your first instinct is usually right. And my first instinct was 29. I'd take it over in 92. Because here's the deal, y'all. When you're really hot, you can only take off so many clothes. But when you're cold, you can keep putting more and more on. This is my logic. All right. And Mitchie Mama, 81 degrees here. First comfortable day in a long time. And let's see here. We're in a protected bay now, says Pecola T. Gonna pick up the stranded passengers in an hour or so. Man, I am so glad that you were cozy on the boat. It sounds like a miserable existence just sitting there waiting for your boat to come back when in the wind and the rain in Alaska. And Pinnell coming in. Oh, Pinnell coming in with the real deal. I'd take negative 20 over 92, says Pinnell in the middle of Canada. Because, yeah, you've probably had negative 20 before. And Puzzy Cat, yes, I know, 2-minute warning, I saw it, I kind of ignored it, but I did see it, and let's see here, say what, how big of a boat is it? I don't know how big of a boat that Pecola T is on, but I can tell you it's a cruise ship, so it's a big one, it ain't just a little row boat, it's a big boat, so it's not, I hope it's nothing we need to be worried about, okay? Okay. So, I want to thank you guys for hanging out tonight and chitter-chattering about funny things and not so funny things. And I want to remind you that on Saturday, we are going to, on the Map Statter page of Twitch, we are going to be watching, hopefully, the final episode of Chief of War, episode 9. I can only assume it's going to be a longer episode than the usual 45 minutes to an hour. Mitchie Mama, you don't even know how much I have been waiting for Saturday or for Friday when it comes out. And yes, thank you mods and everybody. And I hope you guys have a great week and hopefully we will see each other on Saturday. And also to answer the question that we all seem to still have, has Chief of War been signed for a second season yet? No! Like literally right before I went on, I did my researches. And no, apparently it still has not. I mean, I don't know. I don't know how they're not going to not have a second season. But this might be it, y'all. So there you go. And thank you, Terry in Scotland, by the way, for making Chief of War possible for all of us. All of us in your world, all of us in our world, all of us in this world. And yeah, there we have it, Rabbit. Hopefully we'll see each other on Saturday. And you know what? Even before that, Friday, 6:30 p.m. West Coast time, there's this dude named Andy Boomatai. He oftentimes has a stream at that time. Why don't we hang out there too? And then later tonight, there's this other dude. His name's Photo Luke. I think he might have a show tonight. And I'm going to be there. So maybe I'll see you there too. All right. There we have it, Rabbit. Take care.